Okay, well, good luck. I'm going live.
All right.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Share the Love Sundays.
Good. Hello, Dad. I see you in the chat.
Hi, John.
Thank you for coming.
This is going to turn into
Well, you may notice I am not the guest this week. Ryne is the guest this week. So I'm in England. Ryne and Lucy are in Arizona, and Layla. So I will introduce Ryne. Ryne has now got a new channel. And Ryne, if you could tell us what your channel's about and why and when you started it.
Yeah, so this channel is about fitness, dieting, just overall like fitness and wellness goals. That's something that's always been part of my life. Going back before YouTube, is just fitness and weightlifting and training has always been in some shape or form in my life. So I figured, why not turn that into a YouTube channel? Because it's something that's interesting to me.
Yeah, that's really important, isn't it? That you have something that you feel passionate about, you know. Oh, hello, Roger, as well. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Roger. It's turning into a family Skype.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah. If you're there, please say hello and please ask Ryne any questions. Okay, Lucy, I'll hand over to you now.
Thank you.
I think that's the longest I've talked on my own without you actually saying anything.
I know. Oh my gosh. So you said this has always been part of your life, but why did you decide to start your channel now?
This is strange.
I know. I don't know what to say.
So I had a channel before that we did together. It was a cocktail channel.
I can't hear you very well. I think your sound, something's happened to your sound.
Oh no. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I couldn't hear
Maybe just
Ryne.
lean forward a little bit.
Sorry, I don't project as much.
No, Lucy does project rather well.
No
She's
problem
like a mother.
there.
Yeah.
So I had a channel before. Well, we had a channel before that was about cocktails that we started during quarantine towards the end of lockdown. And I thought it would just be fun to try a new skill and, you know, document that. And although it was really fun, it just wasn't sustainable because it's not something I truly loved. So what was the question?
Why did you start your channel?
Oh yeah, so this is why I started this channel. This is why I started this channel, is because it's a passion of mine, and I thought it'd be a lot easier to keep up with. You know, I was doing this before. I was doing this type of content while doing the cocktails, so it was just, you know, turning into a YouTube channel, and the health benefits were a lot greater with this type of channel as well.
Yeah. I was actually really surprised. I said to you at the time, I'm surprised that you didn't do, you know, fitness, running, weightlifting as your channel. You know, I was surprised that you chose cocktails, although I know you enjoy the sort of mixology and everything of that.
Yeah. And I thought, well, cocktails go great on camera, like the different colors and like the editing style. And we all know how good Lucy is at editing. So like she can present, it just, you know, cocktails are like art. So in a way, that's what interests me about it. It just was not sustainable for, you know, something you don't absolutely truly love. And I think I've mentioned it, I gained like 15 pounds in a month, like from all the sugar, and it's just like, there's no way. I don't know how people do multiple drinks a night and like film and upload. It's just, it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, because when you've had all those drinks, you think, oh well, I'll go and edit it and everything now.
Well, there was times where Lucy I was like, I could only have a couple drinks, and I was done. And then like Lucy had to drink 4 or 5, and
I had to.
It was like a Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's a tough life. Yeah, a tough
so,
job, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, you can't waste them.
Yeah, so but the good thing about starting that channel was it did show me that I really did enjoy YouTube. So it was just a matter of finding the content that I enjoy that is part of my life and going from there.
Well, John's got a question for you, Ryne. your father-in-law.
Yeah.
I think at the I think at the end of your training, it would be good to edit some of the segments into a complete story, how to train for a marathon.
Oh yeah, that's a really good idea. I've seen some of those. There's a couple of running channels that I follow that, you know, do a lot of longer videos. I just don't know how many people are sitting there watching 30, 35-minute videos, especially as a new channel. I don't think people are going to want to watch that. But I think towards the end, when it's all said and done, if I accomplish the goal, it'll be good to edit it all together and kind of do like a recap.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, sort of as a conclusion, because some people do like to actually sit down and watch a long video, don't they?
Yeah.
Rather than snippets, you know.
It's such a hard like balancing act. You know, you don't want to make it too long and then just talk, and you know, and you want to make sure you share enough information as well. So just trying to find my footing, as they say, and you know, one day at a time.
Yeah. So what did you learn from doing the cocktail channel that's helping you now with your new channel?
Well, I learned that you need to stay consistent. That's definitely the biggest thing. And then another big thing, like I've said, is like the content needs to be something you truly, absolutely love and love doing, or you just won't. You know, you might make it 3 or 4 months, but it's not going to be something you can do forever. So I learned that. The editing, I know you taught me a lot about the editing software, and what's nice about this channel is like there's no pressure on to make it like look really good. You know, it's just like so when Lucy was doing editing for the cocktail channel, then I would try to edit. I was always putting pressure on myself to like, oh, I got to try to make it as good as the last video Lucy edited, and it just never was going to get like that. So that was discouraging. So I think that could be a lesson, is like, don't put a lot of pressure on yourself and like stick to your abilities, and don't like compare yourself to others.
No, that is really good advice, actually. And you know, we do learn, I don't mean from your mistakes, but we do learn from things that haven't gone completely how you expect them to go.
Yeah.
And you know, that is the best way of learning, really, isn't it? So now you've got a fresh start.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it the other day, and like that old t-shirt company that we started way back in the day, you know, if that didn't fail, that your channel would have never taken off, like never would have started.
Yeah, we never mentioned the t-shirts.
We haven't mentioned that, have we? No, Lucy and Ryne started a t-shirt company, and tell us about that briefly.
Well, it's just you know, things that don't work out the way you plan it, you know, lead to other opportunities, and you know, it's only a failure if you just stop doing something, in my opinion. So
yeah, because I would never have looked for editing software, because I was making videos to kind of show the t-shirts and advertise the t-shirts. That's kind of where I really started learning about editing. And so had we not done that, and I'm not going to call it a failure, because it wasn't really a failure.
No.
But had we not done that, it wouldn't have led to what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So
exactly, things happen for a reason sometimes, and you know, it's a journey, isn't it? It doesn't mean to say that the t-shirt company was your final destination, but it was on the way to something else, you know. You have to look at it like that.
So with the cocktail channel, it showed me that I enjoyed YouTube, you know, but just wasn't the right content that for me. So it's just, and there's no like, you know, doesn't matter how many subscribers in. I think we were like 125 subscribers. Like you could always just stop, you know, and just restart and you know, it's better to find out early than like doing something, you know, you build a whole channel up and you're like, oh, I hate this, you know. And it starts to feel
and then
like
you just can't stop because it's too successful and you feel you're letting people down. So that
it starts to feel like a job. So that's one thing.
I think it's very brave to do what you did, to say, well, hang on a minute, this isn't really what I want to be doing, and stop and have a rethink and then start something else. I think it's a very brave decision, actually.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was the health concern, to be honest. It's scary how fast, you know, with all the sugars, You know, because we like to enjoy a cocktail here, you know, on the weekends here and there. It's like when you start doing 2 or 3 every night of the week, it's like,
because, you know, because we're not professional like mixologists, or we're not like bartenders or something like that, we had to practice to be able to
they
make
all
the
say
videos.
that we just got to practice.
yeah.
And sometimes it wouldn't go right for a long time, so you'd end up with like 5 or 6 drinks.
Yeah.
At least,
and everyone's going, you don't have to drink them, but of course, like I did.
So at least with the running channel, you know, like if I film and make a mistake, you know, like, oh, you ran a 5K and the film didn't turn out good, like, oh well, like, you know, I got something very beneficial out of it, no matter what. Like this channel can absolutely fail, but I'm still gonna accomplish running a marathon. I'm still gonna accomplish staying healthy. So like it's not there's nothing negative about this, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to just check out the chat now and say hello to some people who have just joined us. Hello, Ditho Channel. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Hello.
And welcome Molly Makes too. And Omar Far Away. She says, just to let you know, I've got visitors. Omar Far Away, you're always entertaining. Oh my goodness. You are a star. So we've just had devoured some super delicious sushi and are now on to dessert. I may have to miss this one out. Well, thank you for popping in. That's very kind of you between courses. That's really sweet. And John has got another question. I think there is some great photography and views in your videos. Do you think a lot about that aspect?
Yeah, I do. So I'm running about 5 days a week, so I don't film every run, because the days that I do film and run, it takes a lot longer because you're always trying to think of like cool shots, and you know, you want to, you know, where we live in Arizona, like there's just beautiful scenery, so you always want to like try to capture it as much as possible. And you know, you look kind of crazy like setting up a camera and then running past it and then going back to get your camera. Once you get over that, you start to like really start to think of some cool ways to show off the surroundings.
I noticed there were some very, very cool car shots, you know.
Yeah.
Because you're a big car enthusiast, and it does show because
yeah. It's kind of cool because you never know what you'll see while you're running. So, you know, from like Arizona wildlife to, you know, supercars, and you know, it's just different. Every video can be different. You don't know what you'll see. So that's one like concern I have of the channel. I'm like, well, people are probably going to get tired of watching palm trees and, you know,
just jealous.
Yeah.
And that sun shining and the blue
sky.
Like
how many videos are people going to want to watch all that?
Yeah.
So we'll have to like go to different places, and it gives us
you have to go, I don't know, somewhere and run in the rain, and
Sedona or something. And
Sedona would be a beautiful place to film in.
Yeah, so that's one good thing is like this channel can be shot anywhere. When going back to the cocktail channel, you needed to set up a bar, you needed to set up, you know, you make sure you had all the equipment. This, I just can take my GoPro and just go anywhere.
Yeah. You don't do much to camera when you're out there, obviously, because you're running. You do sometimes, but do you find it difficult with the noises of, you know, cars going past, people shouting, dogs barking?
Surprisingly, the GoPro cuts a lot of that out. If you're looking for an action sports camera, I really recommend the GoPro 9. It's really good. You can check out.
Can we borrow it at some point?
Of course, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, it's not as good as your camera, to be honest. Your camera's mic and audio is really good, but for what this is, you know, I don't think you could run outside with your camera and like.
No, oh god, we could. Oh, we'd be so worried that we'd drop it.
Yeah.
No,
so
couldn't.
So for what the camera is, it does a really good job of cutting out all those extra sounds. And I actually find it a lot easier talking to the camera while I'm outside than inside sitting in front of the camera with the lights on me. It's just for some reason. So probably have to do more.
I guess it's a more natural experience to, you know, to talk while you're doing something rather than just be faced to the camera.
Yeah, and it gives me a reason to take a little break, and walk a little bit so I could talk to the camera during the run.
Yeah. Okay. So what's going on? Oh, hello, Flour, Eggs and Yeast. Thank you for joining us. Oh, just joining, but the screen is black. I hope you all can see us okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, so Molly says Molly Cakes is, oh, hang on. So making cakes and desserts is something I love to do, but we do not eat them much. I either sell them or give them away. So I get it about not wanting to do cocktails all of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Dr. Sev says, you never know, someone might be checking out that location and want to see the palm trees and other scenery. Yeah, come to Arizona for vacation. Is beautiful in the winter, particularly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's been a challenge of this new channel, is running outside in the summer in Arizona. It's for a beginner, it's definitely a challenge, but
at least when you come to run in January, to do your marathon, it should be easier.
It should be a lot easier. So but
yeah. So you mentioned that your goal is to run a marathon, but what are your specific goals for your actual channel?
So for the channel, I kind of just want to like motivate people, you know, if it doesn't, like, this channel doesn't have to be about, you don't have to like running and weightlifting and health and wellness to, find something useful from this channel. It's just more about like stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something hard and recognizing that it will be challenging, and kind of fitting with the running is like, just take one step at a time type of mentality and just go for your goals.
I think it's great to say.
Oh, sorry, Lucy.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think it's great that you're putting out that positivity just out onto the internet, because as we all know, there is so much negativity in the world. And so it's nice to be able to contribute something positive, I think.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think the negative stuff in life starts to dwell on you a little bit. So you got to just, no matter what it is, just try to be positive. And, you'll have setbacks and you might miss a training session, or you might miss a deadline on something. But, like, for example, I've been trying to do a video every Friday. I missed this last Friday, got it up this morning. It's not the end of the world, as long as you just keep going and stay consistent.
Yeah, that is so important. I have a question from Flour, Eggs and Yeast. What's the longest you've ever run before?
So I've done a half marathon on a treadmill before. So the longest I've ever ran outside, it's been 9 miles. I find it so much easier running on a treadmill. I know people normally are the opposite, but on a treadmill, I find it a lot easier. So the longest I've ever gone is 13.1.
That's a long way. It's a long way to walk, let alone run. I mean,
yeah, but that was probably 25 pounds ago. So I was a lot lighter and more nimble. So, and younger.
Yeah. Tell me about it. One aspect that I'm concerned about is your knees. If you're running on road, on pavements and roads, and how worried are you about the impact on your joints and your bones?
I'm not that worried, because I got running shoes. I think that's the biggest thing people make a mistake on. It's they overlook the shoes. They think you can just go get a normal pair of Nikes and you'll be fine. But there's actually so many different types of running shoes for all different types of runners. So the best bet is, find a local running store and they'll help you find the right shoes, and that should help your knees. And then I take supplements like fish oil, has a lot of benefits, and glucosamine. So it's just all about trying to, and then if you have pain, obviously don't try to run through the pain. That's another thing a lot of people make a mistake on.
Yeah.
No, I don't run anymore.
I think you made the shoe mistake.
The shoe mistake too. Yeah. Listen to him. He knows what he's talking about.
And the running shoes, they're not cheap, so it is an investment. So make sure you're willing to put that, obviously, financial investment and time investment into it. But if you're going to do it, it's worth it.
It's definitely worth it to save your knees.
Yeah, Dr. Sev says great running shoes protect you from the contact on the pavement. And
Yep.
Molly says she doesn't run, I think, but she does ride a road bike and a recumbent bike. So it's all very good exercise. I mean, different exercise suits different people, doesn't it?
Yeah, biking's very hard. You know, some people think running's the hardest, but you know, once you start going to those higher miles on the bike, it gets just as hard.
And especially up hills. I mean, you know, cycling in Arizona, oh my God, it's so hilly.
The downhills are great.
Yes, if they're all downhill, it would be fine.
Yeah.
You need one of those lift elevator things to take you to the top, like a ski lift.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as long as you're staying active in some way, shape, and form, you know, even just walking, you know, we try to walk every night, and you know, we notice a difference just walking. So.
And how do you think it impacts on your mental health? You touched on it earlier. How do you think exercise impacts on your mental health and your ability to have a good night's sleep and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think mental health, it plays a big role. You know, I think there's something wrong with you if you say you run a 10K and you accomplish it and you don't feel good after it. You know, like, yeah, it's hard during, but you know, once you do have that feeling of accomplishment, even if it's just after a 5K, 10K, whatever, even a mile, it leads to other things in life. You get more confidence doing the YouTube. You know, last week, you know, I ran 8 miles, filmed a video, and the video only got like 50 views, but you know, I still ran 8 miles. Like, not like that's
exactly.
So
and also it's good because looking back, you've got a log of your journey to fitness, and you know, and then you can learn from that too, can't you? Because you know, this is your first big marathon, as you said, you know, probably full marathon. So it'll be interesting to see what you learn throughout your journey, because it's a learning experience for you too.
Yeah, exactly. And just taking it to other places in life as well, you know. One thing I've learned about marathon training is don't start off running too quickly, you know, like pace yourself. You could do that. You can take that philosophy to anywhere. If you have a big work project, don't, you know, do 10-hour days the first few days and burn yourself out, you know, kind of, you know, have a plan and stick to it. And it's just all about perspective. You can find perspective about everything in life.
Well, Molly says exactly. She just said the same thing. Over exercising, though, is not good either. You mustn't over exercise. That's a very good point.
Yeah, recovery is very important. So you got to make sure you're eating enough. That's one thing that, coming from bodybuilding, is I'm very good at counting calories and keeping track of my meals and making sure, you know, I'm actually eating enough and resting. And it's
tell us a bit more about that, and you know, how different is it for dieting for weightlifting as to dieting for running and marathon and preparing for a marathon?
It's all kind of the same, actually. So you want to do, my philosophy is you want to eat less calories than the calories in versus the calories out need to be balanced if you want to gain weight or lose weight. So obviously I'm eating more now because have a bigger output, you know, from all the running. So that's a plus. I get to eat more cake and eat more, eat more calories. But that's one thing people probably would make a mistake, is like they think that you shouldn't eat a lot to try to lose weight. You actually do need to make sure you're getting enough calories in. And I use an app called MyFitnessPal to keep track of my food, and Lucy's been doing it since you've been in England, and I think she's down like six pounds.
Are you saying I'm the bad influence?
Yeah, we're both stopped drinking. We're both getting fit and healthy in the last month.
Yeah, so like Lucy's a good example. She's probably eating more than she was before, you know, and then working out, and she's dropping some weight and feeling better.
You do both look very well, I have to say.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, we're feeling well. Well, I think it's helped that we do it together. You know, we have to do different kinds of exercise because as we mentioned earlier, I have weak knees, so I can't run, I can't lift heavy weights with my legs. But the fact that we're both exercising and counting our food and making healthy choices, I think it's really helpful. And, you know, you can find anyone. It doesn't have to be your partner. It could be like a friend or like, you know, someone you connect with in a group. I think it's really helpful to have support around you.
You could, there's this YouTube channel called, it's under Ryne Kraft. You can subscribe and
join the community.
Join the community.
Oh yeah, because you've got your community. That's really good, isn't it? Because you've got that interactive community. So, you know, they can ask you questions or give you advice, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always looking to learn, and I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a personal trainer. I mean, obviously I've been doing it for a long time, working out and trying different things. And I know it works for me, and but everyone's different. That's another thing I've learned is there's no one size fits all like diet plan for people. You know, everyone's different.
Molly's got an interesting question. Well, she's going to send cake over. And the other thing, so not to get too personal, how old are you, Lucy, and your husband? You're not going to ask me that, Molly, because I'm not answering.
All right. Are you okay if I say your age?
Oh, I'm 30. Yeah,
I'm 31.
There.
So,
but I don't know. I feel younger.
she acts a lot younger.
Yeah,
she does. It's strange that I'm older. Not that he seems old. He's definitely the mature energy in the relationship.
I look older for sure. So.
Well, it's because you have to live with Lucy.
Yeah.
look what happened to me, Ryne.
Yeah. That's another thing about age. It's never too late to start.
Yeah.
You know, you see these like kids running their whole lives, and you know that's good and dandy, but you can start really training for something at any age. Just don't go crazy at the beginning. You know, ease yourself.
That's so important, isn't it? To do it properly and to start by just doing a little and build up. Yeah.
I think that's a good philosophy to take into YouTube as well.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe some people think no one will want to watch me because I'm, you know.
What's so special about us?
Exactly. But like, you know, there's something special about each of us, not to get too deep about it, but no one else is going to be making the content you make because no one else has your energy or your perspective, or no one else has had your experiences. So I think it's really important to take that and apply it to YouTube too. You know, there's a space for all of us on YouTube, I think, regardless of age and experience, anything like that.
And if YouTube gives you any sort of fulfillment, like happiness, you should do it. You know, it's free to do, you know?
Yeah, that's a good thing. It is free, isn't it?
Like, you know, you can be if it like makes you happy, be selfish and do it. You know,
make the time for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good point. And hello, Eleanor. Thank you so much for joining us.
Eleanor.
Are you doing Lucy's supposed to be doing most of the questions.
No, you were going for it. So I
know. I'll stop for a moment.
Oh gosh. Well, you mentioned there your bodybuilding and weightlifting and how some of that has helped you. Is there anything about that holds you back? Because runners don't typically have a lot of muscle, do they? Because well, a lot of reasons. But is there anything about that holds you back?
Yeah, I'm stubborn. I'm not gonna stop weightlifting. You know, you work being a natural athlete. It works it's been 16, 17 years to put on the very little muscle I do have. So I'm not gonna just stop lifting and give that up for this type of goal. So there's a trend going on. It's called like hybrid athletes. So it's athletes that focus on, you know, maintaining, building muscle, but also endurance. So that's kind of like what I'm trying to shoot for. So.
Oh, that sounds great. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So. I've got a question. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. You go first.
I've got a question from Flour, Eggs and Yeast. Ryne, have you ever heard of ultra marathons or read the book Born to Run that talks about them? Are you into barefoot running? Lol.
Well,
not in Arizona.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't do it in Arizona.
No,
But
no, too many
ultramarathon,
perils like cacti and
Yeah.
snakes and
Yeah. And just hot pavement.
yeah. So one of Lucy's questions she's going to ask, because I could see him on the screen right now, is what do you plan on doing after the marathon? And I would love to do an ultra marathon. I think I don't know what they classify ultra marathons, but I know they have like 50-mile races and 100-mile races. And
oh my goodness.
I think like the top, I think there's like a 240-mile race over, how many days. But I think like the ultimate goal, just to say you did it, is run a 100-mile race. I think that would be really cool.
Wow.
And there's one in Arizona every October that's pretty popular. So maybe someday that would be,
Wow.
I'll need a lot of Molly cakes for that run.
Molly, get baking.
Yeah.
Oh, and can we say hello to Vanessa Aline?
Hello.
Hi. Oh, she says, love you, Brit Girls. Oh, love
thank you, Vanessa.
Brit Page loves you too. Oh, thank you so much, Vanessa.
Oh.
Molly says, I used to be an exercise nut, but slowed down after around 40-ish, but now make sure at least I walk every day and low weights on my arms mostly.
That's perfect. Just keep on moving. I think that's
don't stop moving.
When people just stay stagnant forever, that's especially in the environment, the health environment we are in now, is if people really care about their health, like a lot of people say they do, they should be exercising as well as other things.
Yeah, we were saying just yesterday, because we obviously walk our poodle, and we're saying how good it is for our mental health, like just to get out, like
getting out in the sun. And
yes,
we don't bring our phones on our walk, so it gives us time just to talk and connect. So working out doesn't have to be a lonely thing. There's online things, there's group classes. If you don't like going to a gym, you can pull up. Well, who's the yoga girl we watch?
Oh, yoga with Adrian.
Yeah, I hate yoga, and I'm really not flexible, so I like doing yoga at home so people don't look at me. So like you can even just find your favorite YouTubers and work alongside them.
Yeah. Okay. Do you mind if I just go to the chat now? Oh, Flyrex and you say, what about an Ironman race? Would that be something that interests you?
I can't swim well, so I'd have to learn how to swim better. But yeah, I think those athletes are any endurance athletes are just, it blows my mind how like what they can do. So I think that's such an accomplishment to those people that do even like the mini Ironmans or like half Ironmans. Like it's crazy that you can run that and swim and bike all in the same day. So yeah,
I know it's
amazing. Lucy's a big swimmer, so I think it'd be fun to do like a team. So
maybe you could do the run, Lucy could do the swim, and then you could get somebody on the cycle.
yeah. So I think that would be a fun just way to get into the sport.
Yeah. Like a relay.
Yeah, like a relay.
Yeah, like a relay. That would be fun, wouldn't it? And when you've done your bit, you can cheer the other person on, and then they can cheer the third person on.
That'd be all right.
Yeah. So I know there's, back to the ultra marathons, they're all throughout the country and even the world. So I think if I want to eventually get traveling, it would be fun to travel and do some of those races. Because if you're going to go to, like, for example, Tennessee is a big one that has a lot of ultra marathons. Make it like a trip and an experience.
Oh, it'd be amazing. Yeah, well, if you go to some nice places and you get free tickets, we'll come and support you.
Brit Girls Travel America.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. Let me just your dad wants to know if Molly sends cakes to the UK.
Molly, you've got your work cut out for you now.
Yes. Oh, Champions of Christ. Hi, Paul. Paul Gaming is here. Hi, it goes, hey legends, I hope the family is doing okay. Yes, well, some of us are all on the screen here. Thank you, Paul. Let me see, anything else? Flower eggs, and you say I can't swim well either. Fun fact, I'm into triathlons. They make the swim piece first because it's the most difficult. It reduces drowning.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Reducing drowning is good.
Yes.
That's a good, I never thought of that.
And Dr. Sev says, I've regressed during this pandemic. My company is paying someone to offer free exercise classes via Zoom. I don't really enjoy the classes, so I really need to get back to my daily exercise videos. Yeah, if you're not enjoying that particular class, then even if I know it's tempting because it's free, and I know, Dr. Sev, you like things that are good value for money, but is it good value for money if you're not enjoying it? What do you think, Ryne?
Yeah, I think that's a problem a lot of people face with, working out and dieting. They'll try a diet and they just hate it. And then that's when they'll, do it for a month and then just stop, and then they gain all that weight back. So I do think find something that you can do consistently and then you enjoy. And if it works for you, don't listen to what other people, how many people say like a keto diet is awful, and then, someone over there will say the vegan diet's awful, and then someone will say, so like it's all perspective. And if you feel good and healthy and feel better doing it, then stick with it, because consistency is the biggest thing.
I think so too. I'm a sort of little and often sort of person, rather than hell for leather, stop for ages, hell for leather, stop. Different people do it different ways. I'd rather just do, because I think if you sometimes push yourself too much, it has a negative impact on your performance and on your enthusiasm. I mean, especially doing an endurance thing. What do you think? How do you achieve that balance then, Ryne?
Well, what do you mean? Sorry.
Well, an endurance thing like a marathon, you really got to push yourself. So how do you stop yourself feeling like, oh, I didn't do so well that time. I don't know if I'm ever going to do it. These sort of negative thoughts, how do you get past those?
Well, like, I guess at the end of the day, it's just running. I'm not trying to cure cancer, and I know, like, so say if I had a bad 5K training session yesterday, I know I'll do another one next week that I can improve. So you can just try not to dwell on the negative. I know it's hard to do in this day and age. You just try to move on and keep pushing through.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because you want to challenge yourself, so you want it to be a little bit difficult.
Yeah. So running outside in Arizona, I try to do at least one run a week outside, knowing that my pace will be slower because it's 105 degrees outside compared to running inside. So as long as you can challenge yourself, and I don't feel guilty if I'm in the middle of a long run and I have to walk,
No.
So be it.
Well, they always say, listen to your body, don't they? And it's wrong, as you said earlier, to work through pain, or if you're feeling dehydrated, overheated, exhausted, it's not going to do you any good.
Yeah, one thing I wear a heart rate monitor, and it's actually really surprising how, like, if you look and follow your heart rate, like when you should be walking and when you shouldn't be pushing it, like it is kind of scary, like seeing some people like go crazy and you're like, oh man, what is their heart rate like? Right. So it is good to have a little monitor that reminds you to be like, all right, slow down,
That's a great tip, actually. That is a really good tip.
That can be used for in the gym as well. So it's not just running, it's any type of exercise.
Yeah. Dr. Sev says, I agree on choosing something you enjoy. I really enjoy the exercise videos I've been doing. The Zoom class, though, I love Zoom. I used to love going to Zoom classes. Get the music on and start dancing.
I didn't know you did that.
I did Zoom. did a lot of Zoom
Oh,
classes.
are you thinking of
Not
Zumba?
Zoom, Zumba. Zoom. Did I say Zoom? Oh my God, I'm going crazy. Sorry.
So what,
Yes,
you did Zumba. Okay.
Oh yeah, I did Zumba. Oh yeah, I read Zumba because it started with a Z and it had an M in it.
So they were automatically the same.
Yeah.
Automatically, Zumba. Hey.
Guess you could do Zumba on Zoom.
Yeah.
Well, you can indeed. Yes. Okay, Eleanor. Well, thanks for joining us. I hope you feel better soon. And and we'll check your channel out and watch your latest video. Anyone else got a question for Ryne? Please let us have it. Have you got some more questions there, Lucy, on your list?
Oh yeah. Well, I just thought whilst we were talking about you mentioned your heart rate monitor. Is there anything else you need specifically for your running, like that you've had to purchase? Shoes, obviously.
Shoes, and obviously you don't need to purchase a heart rate monitor to run. You don't even need to purchase shoes. If you really think about it, you can just go out and run.
Don't know.
Yeah.
What about that bag you bought?
Oh yeah, a little hydration bag, like a little backpack that holds water.
Because
that's so important.
Yeah, just stuff like that.
Right, so you don't need nothing, but when you go into their flat apartment,
I know, right?
There's equipment everywhere.
Well, that's
Ryne had a bit of a panic when the gyms closed the first time during the pandemic, and now I won't show you, but that side of the apartment is covered in gym equipment.
Well, it's useful.
To be fair, the exercise bike we got has been amazing. I do love doing the exercise bike.
I will say that there's items, like, you obviously don't need anything, but there's items that make running a lot more fun, in my opinion, like the heart rate monitor, the watch. I'm a numbers person, so I like to see like statistics and am I actually improving? So you might not feel like you're improving, but the numbers might show differently.
Yes, that's a very good point. Yes, and that does spur you on, doesn't it, when you see those numbers increasing, or you see a little graph with your progress. I think
even if you cut your pace down by 15-20 seconds, you're like, well, that's a good, you're improving.
Yes. Well,
what about that little thing I was just going to say, I honestly don't know what it is, the little thing that you have on your shoe.
Yeah, so they actually make like they call it a running pod that like measures your power output, the stress you put on your body. You can like put your weight in there and it calculates, are you running too much? Are you running too little? Like there's a lot of technology out there. But there's by no means, like, don't let that hold you back. Like if you can't afford to buy that, like you don't need that. That's just
for the accountant in you.
Yeah, for the numbers person in you. It's just
definitely the accountant in you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'd like to just welcome pertaining to Rose. Thank you for joining us, Rose.
Hi,
and
Rose.
In the kitchen with Karen. Thank you very much for coming along.
Hello, Karen.
So just like to say, next week we haven't actually booked anyone for next week for Share the Love Sundays.
No.
I don't know what we've done, Lucy, but we haven't done it yet.
No, I know.
We've got Sean, the sensational gent, the week after. So if any of you watching now would like to come on next week, please let us know. Or just are interested but are not sure, please email us, Brit Girls Go Stateside @gmail.com, or volunteer now. We'd love to have you on the show, whether you've been on before or whether you're new.
Not as
don't
bad
be
as
shy.
it's not as bad as you would think.
I know. I think once you get on, really, isn't it? You feel nervous beforehand, sometimes a little bit apprehensive, but when you sort of go into it, everyone says it's much better and easier than they thought it would be.
So it's a fun little supportive community you guys have built.
Oh, we love our YouTuber community. I know not all of you are even YouTubers, just the guys that come to this live, and we have a chat every Sunday and connect. And
yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? Because you really feel you get to know the person and more about why they're doing their channel, and it's really nice, the interaction with people in the chat, and it's really a joy to do. And so please, please let us know. But we will have a show next week. But so
someone's coming on, even if we have to drag them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe we can do a live show of Lucy running outside.
Oh my goodness, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
That would be entertaining. Yes.
Yeah. As long as we don't do a show with me running outside.
That would be even more entertaining.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be. I'm waiting for your next question, Lucy.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were going to read something from the chat.
No.
So what does your channel have to offer someone who isn't running a marathon?
Probably just more of motivational types of things, and I've started trying to film food. I follow a flexible dieting plan. So what that means is you could eat the things you like to eat as long as it fits within your, so for example, I have a daily calorie limit. So if I want to fit pancakes in, for example, I could have pancakes, but I got to subtract that from my total calories that I'm planning on eating for the day. So I think I'm going to start trying to film some of the foods that I enjoy. But filming food is hard. So all of you food channels, you guys are amazing.
Isn't that the truth? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So any tips on tricks on that, let me know. So food, we have a cute little poodle on my channel that we like to show, little Layla.
Where is Layla? Oh, there she is. Pause. Oh, she is a cutie. I'm missing her.
Yeah, and just motivation to keep going. If you're struggling on any type of goal, you can always tune into me struggling physically through my goals, and hopefully I accomplish them. And if not, we can talk about why I didn't and how we can overcome that. I think the comment section of YouTube is very underutilized. If there's certain channels you really like pop your struggles in it, tell them your struggles, and hopefully they all interact with you. And I think if you can make the comment section of your videos very positive, you'll get more people interacting with your videos.
Yeah,
I
think YouTube is such a unique relationship between, for want of a better word, performer and audience. Like that connection, you don't get that with TV or theatre or many other mediums. Do you have that conversation that you can have? So I totally agree. I never commented on videos before starting YouTube because it didn't even occur to me to, but now that I have, some of the conversations you have in the comment sections are so interesting, either on your videos or on someone else's video. It's great.
I had a complete stranger comment on a video saying they are going to start running once a week now just because they found my channel. I'm like, that's crazy. That's really
amazing.
You just hopefully just change one person's life for the better, and not even trying, that makes it worth it.
That's wonderful. Yeah, that's just so lovely, to feel you've affected somebody's life like that and you've made a difference. I mean, what could be better than that?
Yeah. And
yeah. Omar Faraway says she's got a piece of pear upside down cake waiting for you.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah. Well, you're doing 10 miles today, aren't you?
Yeah.
So,
I gotta figure out when I'm running today.
Oh, right. Okay. So you might need that. Molly says tip on food is make sure you edit out any swearing. Yeah.
Yes. Molly, surely not.
I can't believe that you would say anything naughty, Molly. No.
That's funny.
So what can we expect from your channel in the near future, and what are some longer term goals?
So more food videos, and then I try to do one weekly vlog of different topics about running and weightlifting. I want to make sure I don't get away from the weightlifting aspect. So I've been experimenting, does lifting heavy 2 days before a run affect the difference between lifting heavy 1 day before the run? Just trying to find what works best for me. And these small YouTube channels, it's all kind of experimental, and you have to try to just get as many eyes on your channel as possible. So even product reviews might be a thing in the future.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, your channel's place to have product reviews, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, probably product reviews that are like running shoes or supplements, those types of things.
Oh, right. That would be excellent.
Whilst we're on the subject of editing out swearing, Ryne was trying to review, was it our new air fryer you were trying to review? And all of a sudden I had this cacophony of irrepeatable words.
Well, so
coming from the living room.
I don't know if other people have noticed with their channels, it's almost good to have multiple cameras set up in different angles, because if you're reviewing something, it's kind of a pain in the ass to try to get one shot and move the camera, get another shot, and it takes a while. So
I think doing anything physical, whether it's cooking, reviewing, like walking, it's very difficult, don't you think, Mum, to get it to get it right? We're still learning about that.
I don't know if your sound is up too loud. I don't know if anyone else can hear, but I seem to be echoing on your side.
Oh,
I don't know if it's just me that I can hear it. Oh, okay, maybe it's just me. Yeah, I know when we've done food items, the amount of times we have to keep moving the camera and doing a little bit at a time. If we had 2 or 3 different cameras, yeah, that would
so
be
much
easy.
Yeah, so.
But even so, it's very difficult. That's not our favorite thing, is it, Lucy? We have done it a few times now, with our various tastings.
We like the tasting.
And the cider.
Yes, the cider.
Filming the actual product or the cooking process is very difficult. Oh, Molly says she gets food on her lens a lot. Oh, my gosh.
The other fear, like getting something on your camera and
that's nice
damaging
nice thing about the GoPro is it's meant for extreme sports, so
it can go underwater and stuff.
Yeah, so if it falls in spaghetti sauce, it's not the end of the world.
Oh, good. Well, that's a good point. And I've just seen Ryne, pertaining to Rose, has actually subbed to your channel. She's checked you out, likes what she sees. So please, everyone, if you haven't checked Ryne, it's Ryne Kraft.
Yep.
RYNEKRY, not Ryan, Ryne Kraft. And check out his channels. If you like it, please subscribe.
I appreciate that.
And if you don't mind, please give the video a like today. That would really help us out a lot. Okay.
Well, if you have a question for Ryne, now's the time to pop it into the chat. I'll ask him the last question we asked everyone before we say goodbye, which is if you could boil down everything that you've learned on your YouTube journeys so far and kind of offer it as a piece of advice to someone who's maybe thinking of starting a YouTube channel or someone who's just started a YouTube channel, what advice would you give them to kind of send them on their way?
Pick content that you really absolutely enjoy. When I say that is content that you would be doing even if you weren't doing YouTube. So if I wasn't filming for this running journey, I still would be running because it's something I really enjoy and I like having those types of goals. So I think that's the biggest piece of advice. Make sure the content is what you love, and if it's not, don't be afraid to change it. You don't have to. YouTube's not your employer. You don't need to get it improved to change your content. Just change it and try to post as much content as possible.
That's very good advice. Yeah. Molly wants to know, she's got a question. Do you just drink water or something else as well to hydrate?
Weird drinks that he made.
She thinks Gatorade is a weird drink.
Gatorade?
No, there's all these different powders and formulas.
So you can buy powdered Gatorade and mix it with your own water.
Is that healthy? Is Gatorade healthy?
Well, it's just quick dissolving sugars. So when you're
for energy, I see.
So I wouldn't drink it if I wasn't training.
Right. So don't just think it's healthy and drink it on its own.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, because at the end of the day, it is sugar. But when you're a few miles into a long run and you're starting to feel sluggish, it's good to drink those. So I try to drink a Gatorade during running. For longer runs, if I'm running 2 or 3 miles, then no, I'm not gonna. You don't really need to, just water.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me
Coming
again.
all the way from in there where you usually are to out here.
Yeah, it's nice to see you in front of the camera rather than, you being behind the walls. So yes, thank you, Ryne, for joining us. Thank
Well,
you
thank
so
you.
much, everyone. You've been lovely in the chat as always.
Yes.
Thank you for saying hi and asking your questions. Thank you for watching. If you're watching now or on replay, and we will see you next week. And yeah, and we've got a surprise guest for you. It'll be a surprise for us too.
It could be you.
Yeah.
Yes, it could be you. Oh, I've got my fingers in the wrong place. That didn't work.
Nice try though.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a good Sunday.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.